Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Justin Deonarine. The book I chose for this presentation is The Joe Biden Way, How to Be a Bold and Empathetic Leader by Jeffrey A. Krams. If you pan your attention to the left, you see a picture of Mr. Krams, and if you pan your attention to the right, you'll see a picture of the front cover. So some learning objectives and goals for this presentation. The learner will be able to understand the leadership principles of the Joe Biden way and define what the Joe Biden way is, apply leadership strategies for problem solving. Three, recognize the importance of empathy and being a strong and effective leader. And four, complete the group participation activity and utilize the skills learned in the presentation to answer the questions effectively. So an overall summary of the book is a detailed novel that explores the leadership style and training skills of the previous U.S. President, Joe Biden. Cram refers to personal anecdotes and political actions taken during President Biden presidencies, highlighting leadership-oriented skills. He showcased empathy, resilience, and strategic decision-making. The book highlights Biden's ability to connect and surround himself with diverse and like-minded individuals, and his ability to develop a list of priorities in the heat of controversy and pressure. The book offers guidance to aspiring and current leaders with the political sphere and beyond. He also strives to blend ambition with compassion in its professional development. In my personal opinion, the book deserves a 4 out of 5 because it succeeds in providing role model examples for Joe Biden's leadership and what it means to be a productive leader within the government sector. However, the author was clearly anti-Trump and pro-Biden, which may affected his credibility and it made it feel like that some claims were more opinion-based than factual. Hence why I give it a 4 out of 5. In chapter one, step one's priorities, they quoted Joe Biden saying, "Successful presidents better than me have been successful in part because they know how to time what they're doing, order and decide priorities." So some key takeaways are always know your number one priority. Leaders following the Joe Biden way must not allow their agenda to be disassembled or blocked by different factuals within organizations. Each day, they should know what their chief objective is and should know what is ahead and time to be prepared ahead of time. It's also very important to level with everybody. A quote that Biden's grandfather showed him one time was, "Let the chips lay where they may. An authentic leader should never be caught in a lie. This is not leadership. This is risking one's reputation, something that should be avoided at all costs." Understand the behavioral and aspirational aspects of your leadership team. Leaders may, at any level of government or business, must educate themselves on the motivations and styles of work and of each individual that they report to within their team. They must not forget about the people they are closest to, whether that be their constituents or the consumers. Three key terms are that leaders are supposed to excel in preparation, authenticity, and knowledgeability. Chapter two, execute strategically. Joe Biden was once quoted saying that if we act now decisively, quickly, and boldly, we finally get ahead of the virus. We can finally get our economy moving again, referring to the COVID-19 pandemic. Some key takeaways include planning ahead and thinking strategically. Leaders must demonstrate their capacity to see the bigger picture, being able to choose one's battles and just perspectives and finding alternative solutions when needed. This is my personal favorite, following the 24-hour rule. Biden made a concise effort to answer every phone call or email from local government officials, whether that be governors or mayors, within a 24-hour time period to showcase importance and attentiveness to the problems at hand. And three, aim for the highest always. When Joe Biden was first elected as president, he showed to forget more than $6 trillion passed through various bills for COVID relief fund and so forth. He was determined and didn't back down when he was faced with criticism and pushback from the Senate and Republicans. Three key terms for this would be that leadership are strategic, responsive, and ambitious. Chapter 3 and 4 were basically talking about the same thing, so I coincided them into the same presentation slide. They quoted Tom Rath, a very public figure within the U.S. government. When we build on our strengths and daily successes instead of focusing on our failures, we simply learn more. So some key takeaways here would be to understand the value of experience. Biden came within a unique perspective situation where he was coming into this presidential term with over 50 years of political experience, and this experience gave him a unique position to follow the previous presidency. Second is to develop your strengths to the greatest ability. It referenced an article from Sander and Folkman. The key to being perceived as a strong leader centers around developing just a few strengths and developing those strengths to the full extent. The article gave an example about public speaking and developing the skills to the point where you become an expert and able to teach others about that skill. Taking immediate responsibility when things go wrong. During the presidency of Joe Biden, there was a botched evacuation within Afghanistan, which was under his watch. This led to Biden and his administration having to take steps and apologize to the general public for their mishaps in their failed evacuation plan. and they gave steps on how they were going to improve the situation going forward. So three key terms to take in consideration are leaders have experience, they work on strength building, and they are accountable for their actions. Chapter 5, Close Reality Gaps. Key takeaways. Sticking with reality is very strongly mentioned within the chapter. When Biden gave his speech and granted a network interview or press conferences, he was caught in controversy over notable failure. He had to self-reflect, apologize first, and take responsibility for his poor actions. Personally, one of my mentors told me it's very important to say the word sorry, say that you're sorry, and be apologetic. So leading with that, lead us break down barriers, and to plan for every contingency, which is very important for a US president. This is where Biden could have done some improvements during his administration. He failed to develop contingency measures and metrics for the evacuation plan in Afghanistan. Even the fact that experts believe that there was a direct correlation between the failed evacuation and the Afghan army collapsing, leading to the Taliban taking over, which impacted the lives of many people overseas and within the United States. So it's very important to plan for these contingent measures and expect the unexpected, essentially, and find partners for the biggest, most pressing problems. Partners help solve problems that leaders can't tackle on their own. That takes an army to solve some problems, and being able to recognize that at the highest level is very important. When Biden spoke about the current climate crisis, he backed his words with actions by being the first president to appoint an individual to the cabinet position of climate czar, which is essentially the person that's going to dictate any regulations or climate reforms in regard to the United States. And he also reached out to nations to discuss bold climate regulations. Some three key terms to take away are integrity, strategic thinking, and teamwork. Chapter 6, focus on leadership, not optics. This one's very quick. Some key takeaways: don't delay urgent decisions. Putting off important decisions can exacerbate challenges and hinder progress. Effective leaders act decisively and take careful consideration to address the most pressing issues. Time is of the essence. Being efficient in timing can save lives. Hiring those who share your values. Joe Biden was very good at this, and his team, he surrounded himself with diverse, inclusive, and transparent individuals who are both honest and shared his visions and aspirations. He was very big on DEI, so that was a big aspect of who he appointed as different cabinet positions. And three, create a succession plan. All leaders and managers must plan their own departures for their positions. Succession plans are essential for the continuity of every organization. This relates to sustainability, so making sure there's a smooth transition of power between you and the next president and any leader, so the team and organization can live beyond your leadership and a sustainable impact. So three key perspectives to keep into consideration are: leaders are proactive, they focus on team building, and they pride sustainability. Chapter 7, build a legacy. Joe Biden was once quoted by saying, failure at some points in life is as an inevitability, but giving up is unacceptable. So it's not about when you fall, it's about what you do when you have to get back up and how you act accordingly. Some key takeaways include: go for greatness. Leaders should think about the big picture and not limit their sights on the shortcomings. During his presidency, on numerous occasions, Biden strove to develop his ideas into fruition for the American people. He strove to cut through bureaucracy and implement policies that he put the American people first. So two, never forget the first priority. Forgetting your first priority can leave room for error. In the case of the Biden administration, when the COVID-19 cases were on decline, the administration got laxed, and then later on the Delta variant rose and the nation was caught off guard, leading to death. And this could have been prevented if he remembered his number one priority of safeguarding the American people. And so remembering the number one priority does save lives in the sense we are referring to the US President of the United States. Building bridges, not walls. This is very important for all aspects of life, ranging from undergrad all the way up to the most executive position. Biden Strauss believed in fostering collaborations and connections between different individuals instead of creating barriers and promoting unity, understanding, and progress in his leadership and relationships. And so some three key terms to remember is that leadership members are person-centered, prioritization, and unity-oriented. Okay, so I wanted to give you a real-world scenario how you would be able to utilize the Joe Biden way. So suppose you are a team lead for a cross-departmental team for a medical supplies company, which is trying to launch a product in a short time before the holiday season. 2 weeks into the project, conflicts arise, miscommunication becomes prevalent, and poor worker morale is threatening to launch the launch of the new product, which is significantly impacting the bottom line of the company. As a team lead, how would you respond? Utilizing the Joe Biden way, you would first lead with empathy, utilizing active listening to better understand the concerns of your team, making sure that their perspectives are feeling heard and valued, and offering support if needed. Two, prioritize and set clear goals. Reinforce the team's primary goal of getting this product out in time before the holidays and ensuring everyone's understanding the importance of adhering to the deadlines and making sure that we're just on the same page, reading the same book, and we're all going from the same baseline. And three, plan for contingencies. My personal favorite, planning ahead for potential risks that may arise and offer realistic and effective alternatives that recognize your team's well-being and mental health and the objectives of the company. So being able to not only be efficient, but being effective in the process. This will reduce stress and maintain team confidence and morale, which we could see was at a decline, maybe given the fact that how people were working during the holidays, which may be troublesome for many individuals with families. Okay, and this is the interactive activity that you'll be participating in. So the question is, if you were selected to serve as President of the United States for one day, what is one critical issue you would address, and how would you would apply three leadership skills that you've learned within this presentation to accomplish this goal? I gave you an example that as President of the United States for a day, I'll focus on improving school meals in urban low-income communities, for securing federal and state funding for fresh, culturally diverse options, demonstrating the principle of aiming for the highest always. And also by loving with everybody, I would engage with community members and key stakeholders, both at the federal level and on the community level, to ensure the needs are being heard and implemented within the state policy. And three, to plan for every contingency, how to work with experts to address challenges, ensuring lasting impactful changes, like I said earlier, having a sustainable impact on various aspects of the problem at hand. Thank you. This is my presentation. Thank you for your time.